Well, good morning. Actually, it's still morning here. It's 10 o'clock, and we'll see if anybody actually shows up now that we've got a few things taken care of. Oh, wow. It's been an interesting weekend. I'm glad everybody's doing, or hope everybody's doing well, anyways. As you can see, I'm here in my ivory tower, um, in my bedroom blogging away, just so we know. Um, yeah, whatever it is, that's simple enough, I guess. All right. Um, something. It's funny, but we're not going to pick on people. We're not going to do that. People are more than welcome to say what they want, and we encourage it. We encourage open discussion on anything and everything within the circumstances here. Um, we are a big believer in, as long as comments work within the YouTube community guidelines, and they're not outwardly horrible, then sure, we leave them to post. Good morning, Elvis. How are you? I hope you're doing well over there in Australia. And Hillbilly Pyro, welcome. Are you blowing anything up today? I hope not. Miyagi, my friend, how are you? How's your dad doing? I hope you're having a good visit. I think you might be back in Manila by now. I'm not so sure. Kiel, good morning from Bicol. Good morning, Kiel. Hope you're doing well. James and his beautiful bride. Hope you guys are doing well. Scott Ferris is here as well. How you doing, Scott? Yeah, yesterday was an interesting day. It really and truly was. And I think, I should start this off by some basic fundamentals. I think that's important. But we'll see. I guess the one from last night live, if you have capital investment and buy a house, it's not part of your monthly expense. I would agree with John on this. Um, yes and no. And I'll tell you why, Michael. And this is where John and I run into um, issues of semantics and verbiage. Okay. I have been in my entire life in business. I've been my career shifted over to business in my late 30s, early 40s, from clinical side to the business side. I speak in terms of what in America we call GAAP accounting, GAAP. GAAP, it's generally accepted accounting procedures. In those particular instances, okay, GAAP accounting, that's an expense. It's an expense. It's you can, whether it's a capital investment or not, it's an expense, but it's not on the expense line. What John is saying is you have to have money and you don't count it as an expense. You count it as an investment. And what I'm saying is it's an expense. If you take a look at buying any type of equipment in generally accounting terms, you depreciate that equipment. That is an expense. Okay, and that's where John and I see different. And he's entitled to his opinions. His are a little bit more layman's terms and layman's functions, and I can understand that. Um, you know, I'm not here to bash John. He can speak. He was his name calling in his video prior to my live, which I did not see at the time, doesn't bother me, but it is what it is, and we'll just get on down the road about it. It's simple. Miyagi says his dad is doing good. He had to cut his visit short. Duty called yesterday. I'm back in Pasay, back to Japan tomorrow night. Okay. All right, Miyagi. Well, I hope you have a great trip. I hope you have a safe trip as well. So let's see. A Joe named Mike. Good morning. How are you guys doing? Hope you're well. So, with all of those things being where they are, oh, what's James saying? Just getting in vacation mode, heading out to El Nido Thursday. I must say, if you're flying anywhere here in the Phil, it's cheap except El Nido. Yeah, it's not bad at all. I don't think we've got two different flights scheduled in the next 45 days. So, we've got two different locations that we're flying. And so, and that's all there is to it. Um, it's gone up though. It is certainly more than pre-pandemic, and I don't know really how to. The service and the on time is not any different than it used to be. That's for sure. Copal, investments appreciate. He won't make any profit from it. He paid 65K in rent, like it or not. And Copal, that's kind of how, when I think about it and I try and bring it into layman's terms, if you spend 50,000, then that has a value over time. And not only does it have a value over time as to what that money could be earning, but in addition to that, it has an issue of what did that cost you on a monthly basis. So if you spend $12,000 and you do it over the course of a year, that cost you $1,000 a month. Then over the next year, that cost went from $1,000 a month to $500 a month. It depreciates down, but it's an expense no matter what. In my example, I didn't even include that stuff because my video was being directed more to the people that are coming here on highly limited budgets. $1,000 a month, in my opinion, is a limited budget. All right. And it's a budget that you will have some difficulty with, or some people will have difficulty with. All right. That's all. Let's see here. Hillbilly Pro Sinologue starts here today. I know that's misspelled. Yeah, but we certainly figured out what it was. That's for sure. That ought to be fun. Let us know how that turns out, Hillbilly. Michael, they always say it takes money to make money. Some have the property to sell back home and reinvest. I call carryover, and it is in my accounting, to get the fact it's a hidden expense in dollars or savings. And true, it is. It is, Michael. Good morning, Peter. How you doing? Hope things are going well for you. Bum, bum, bum. Properties depreciate, only land appreciates. And it kind of depends. Maybe, maybe not. Bipolar. I'm not quite sure yeah, I guess you could put it that way. Expat Ian, good morning, Mike. As you know, I'm one of these 600 USD survival guys. I tend to post a video later showing you a walkthrough of my house and another video of how my wife's family live. Yeah, but Ian, please try and understand. You're $600 a month and you're not paying rent, okay? And you're happy with what you're doing. And you built, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think you built that house like 10 years ago, or you started on that house like 10 years ago. Our lives are different. Our lives are much different. And what makes you happy doesn't make me happy. But what makes me happy is way out of line with what makes you happy. And if we can understand that and agree with it, I think it's understandable. And maybe, perhaps, maybe I don't like to talk about this, but I'm going to. All right. I'm going to say this because um, it's important that people try and understand. All right. I shouldn't be here right now. And maybe that's why I live life the way I live it. Just so some of you might know, all right, I live life to what I consider the fullest for a particular reason. I was born as a insulin dependent diabetic. I have been on insulin drip, pump, needle all of my life since I was an infant. At the age of 17, the doctors told me, and even then, it doesn't ring much different, although I'll update it. All right. The life expectancy when I was a teenager of an lifelong insulin dependent diabetic, that life expectancy was 48 years. All right. Now, there are a lot more studies now, and insulin delivery systems are a lot better over the years and everything that goes along with it. But even now, I've beat the system by a solid 7 to 8 years. Right now, the life expectancy of an insulin dependent diabetic is less than 60 years old. Actually, it's less than, it's 58 years of age. So, utilizing what I've worked hard for all my life to live life to what I feel is the fullest amount. I think that being criticized about where I live and how I live for that is somewhat critical when people don't care. But it doesn't matter. And Ian says he does understand that he's going to explain in this video. Um, let's see here. Let me try and catch up. I like your idea of putting 150, 250K in a CD for 5% and using that for rent. You certainly can, Scott. Now, keep in mind the rates are going to change and you've got to be able to roll them over. All right. And then also keep in mind you're going to pay taxes on that 5%. But if you're living a level of life that works in that, then great. You know, it just depends if it meets what makes you happy. Pedro IT, how you doing, Pedro? Good to see you there. Scott, yes, that works exactly right. Copal, since it's family land, he'll never see any appreciation from it. He fails to accept generally accepted accounting practices. He's changing. Yeah, you know what, Copal? It's okay. This is not a bash John procedure here. It really and truly is not. He and I think of it as differently. That's all. And our opinions clash based on our lifestyles and everything that goes along with it. So, you know, it's two different people. It really is. It's kind of like Trump and Biden. They're two totally separate people. All right? And their opinions are radically different. Hillbilly Bird, the guy's old, it won't matter. You know what? He's happy. And as long as he's happy, perhaps he hangs in there. Manifest with Jay posted his budget on YouTube today in BGC. He was at $3,000 before rent, estimated $3,000 to $4,000 rent, $7K heading near Western numbers. Yeah, you know what? If you want to live that kind of life and the BGC life, you know, it's not cheap. We lived in Makati. We can tell you it's not cheap. Bipolar, give it hell. You're doing it right. We just enjoy ourselves. We really true. You know what? I might need to correct a couple of John's assumptions on our life, but sure, it's not critical. They're assumptions of his and what he thinks. Michael says, I will say this: I will rather invest my money in the Philippines so I can leave this world knowing I made a difference in many others' lives. I'm happy to give it all to my wife, family. Americans are spoiled brats. Well, I don't consider my daughter a brat, but she is somewhat spoiled. Although she is finding out real quick uh, what it's like to now work. So if people want to cam up, I'm going to put up the link there. All right. Mike, Peter, you earned it. So you can spend it however you want, Copal says. Elvis says, I'm proud of you, Mike. I too have diabetes type 2, and to hear your life focus gives me hope. Elvis, don't let it beat you. Look at me. Look at me. I had a heart attack. I was in a wheelchair for 8 months. Well, I was in a wheelchair for 6 months and then a cane for another 2. All right. You can beat it. You really and truly can. And my one thing that I would say is enjoy it. Absolutely enjoy life, because you don't know when it's going to leave you. You don't know when it's gone. All right? You really don't. So enjoy your life. Live it to its fullest. Live it to the best that you can. Don't be foolish. Don't be crazy. Don't outlive what you have. Okay? But do live it. Do enjoy it. You know? Contrary to popular belief of that John is mentioning, all right? And not that I'm saying it's negative or anything like that. I don't socially drink. When we go out to the bars, I might have 2 drinks, more often 1, and then it's water or juice or soda after that. Okay, I prefer club soda and lemon, to be honest with you. And Arlen is not a big drinker at all. And on occasion, we'll go to dinner before we go out, and I'll have a margarita. So, they're just so tasty, but they're terrible for my sugar, for my blood sugar. They're just horrible. Oh my God, there's so much sugar in a margarita. It'd kill, a ton of ants. It really and truly would. But if you want to cam up, the link is below, right there in the chat. Feel free to do so. Let's see here. What else was there? Oh, I'll sue you. I'm going to tell you, I'll be real honest with you. I've been in big business for the last 20, 30 years. I don't ever threaten to sue somebody, and I have never said that. Period. End of stomach. End of story. That's not the kind of person I am. If I'm going to sue you, you'll know it when you get the subpoena. And even then, that's never happened. But that's kind of how I feel about it. Dr. Richmond, can you get a sealed bottle of water in the bar? Absolutely. That's the only kind of water that I know of. I don't think the bars are not going to give you service water. They're going to charge you for a sealed bottle of water. Do they care if you're not drinking alcohol? No, they don't. In fact, several of my friends and I, we've gone to bars and spent the whole night just drinking bottled water. They don't care. Lawrencina, preach, brother, my heart and lungs were heavily damaged by COVID. Family concerned about me going back to the PI. Bottom line, I chose to live, not to exist. Exactly. And Lawrence area, you can. You absolutely can. Don't say ants. I've been fighting these for weeks. They're all over the place. We don't have any bug issues here where we live. We have no roaches. Once in a while, I will see a big roach out on the balcony, and I think it's because they fly in or something like that. And it's never during the day; it's always when it's dark outside. And I smack that little guy with some Raid. I keep a can of bug spray out there, and it's done. It's over with. Uh, we don't have ants. We don't have roaches. Um, yeah, I'm soon. Any place sooner or later you're gonna get them. It's gonna happen. Hillbilly Pyro, don't say ants. Oh, I read that. I haven't had a drink in 16 years, so what choices do I have at the bars? Oh, there's soda, there's diet soda, um, there's pineapple juice, mango juice, orange juice, there's tonic waters, soda water, there's coffee, tea. All of the places that we go have all of that. Hapa, aloha, aloha, aloha. Wow, Hapa is very, very popular this morning. Dardos, how are you, Dardos? Hola, senor. Saludos de todos. Yes, indeed. Well, ¿cómo está? How have you been, Dardos? I hope things are going well for you. Elvis will not came up today. Sorry, we'll be leaving soon. No, Elvis, no problem at all. Anybody can cam up on that link. I'll put it in again here in just a second. I think it's strange. I have not seen a single bee here. We see them, and we see them quite often in the province. Those ants at Subic will pick you up and carry you away. Wow. Yes, sense of style. I think we do. And if somebody wants to join the live, I'm pretty sure that we're able to do it now. We've tested it a couple of times. So we think so. Do you have the live chat guest updated? Dr. Richmond, all that stuff, soda, etc., are loaded with sugar. Better off with water. Yes, indeed. They absolutely are. And even if I drink Diet Coke, I can watch my sugar rise because it's real simple for me. I do not have. My pancreas is live. It's healthy, but it doesn't work. It's a functioning organ in the sense that the tissue is real, but it doesn't produce insulin. So I can actually watch my sugar go up even drinking diet soda. Mike Simpson dropped in to say hi. Nice to have you, Mike. Glad you're here. Sense of Style is joining. Okay. All right, we're going to do this. Let's see if we've got it right. We're going to assign him to guest one, and then we're going to go like this. Well, there you go. Sense of Style. Now he's got to have to figure out how to see it or deal with it. We see you. Can you not see us? You can't see.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you just fine. How are you today?
Let's see. I don't know what I need to do.
You.
All right. How are you?
I'm very good. On the right hand side of that little box, there's a
Okay.
button that allows you to open the chat. It says community chat, if I'm not mistaken. If you'll hit that little button, you'll see the community chat. But you won't unless
Community
you're
chat.
all right, and that'll be to the right of the little screen that you're in.
Oh, okay. Here we go. The right. Let's see. Oh, the right. Okay, right here.
So
Okay, there. How's that?
That's good. So you should see the community chat will come up when people are commenting in there. So how are you since the
Yeah.
where
Okay.
where are you calling from?
Oh, I am calling from Woodland Hills, California.
Okay, I know exactly where Woodland Hills is. And have you been to the Philippines before?
Yeah, I lived in Dumaguete from 2016 to 2022.
Wow. What? So did you? Why did you go back to Woodland Hills?
Well, there was a lot of things I needed to do here, so I moved back to California. You know, like
Okay,
they say, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly
I
Hills.
un-
That is
I understand. I do.
swimming pools, movie stars.
So when you lived in Dumaguete,
I just wanted to talk about the. Okay.
no, go ahead. You wanted to talk about what?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to talk about the cost of living.
Okay,
I lived in apartment complex uh, in Dumaguete, and it was 47 units, and it was gated, and it was kind of like new construction because I think it was completed in 2014, and my rent was equivalent to about $240 a month, and it was furnished and with a TV and internet, and the cable TV was included in the rent, but I did have to pay for the the electric, and I ran the air conditioner when I was home. So electric was like $60 to $80 a month, and the running water bill was $5 a month. And so I didn't have a live-in girlfriend. Ate wherever I wanted, and ate out, and my I only spent about maybe $800 a month.
okay.
Uh, I wanted to spend more, but there was nothing to spend it on.
But you didn't now. Um, but you weren't dating any girls. You're not
Well,
a
I yeah, but they didn't live with me. I mean, there's still one gal that I'm still in contact with, even here, but they had their own places to live. Uh, but I was
okay.
open for it, somebody to live with me. I was open for that.
I would, I just saw a video that a guy did. Now, were you in a one bedroom apartment or a studio apartment?
I was in an apartment, yeah, just a studio apartment.
A studio. All right.
Just a
So,
second, I'm cooking.
okay.
All right. Yeah, studio apartment. Uh, I would say it's about maybe around 250 square feet.
Okay. So, I got a feeling, first off, prices in Dumaguete have definitely gone up. All right. Um,
Yeah.
and uh, the cost of everything has gone up considerably. Okay. And I put the link in below. We can have more than one person uh, online right now if you'd like. So, with all of that being said, um, you know, you were what between what did you say 8 and 900 a month?
About $800. Now I did have out of pocket costs when I moved there because I did buy a motorcycle. It was like 45,000 pesos, which is about $840, and I bought
Right.
that in 2017. And and I had to buy plates, cups, forks, frying pan, all that stuff,
Okay.
and so that was like out of pocket costs.
And
But
then you were
the
doing
biggest
monthly. You
major,
you would have been doing monthly,
go ahead.
or you would have been doing visa renewals.
Oh yeah, okay. Now with that, my guess is if you want to put it in U.S. dollars, I would say tourist visa. Well, it might be higher now, but when I was living there, it was about $400 a year to like maintain a tourist status. Now, eventually, I got my SRRV, and so I didn't deal with immigration.
Right.
Um
So, those though are all real expenses. I mean, if you were ex-military, your
yeah,
SRV came in at like 1,500 or 2,000. Depends on before the price changing and everything else. Um, but uh, but those are all expenses, and if you add them in, that would
yeah,
have
they
been an
are. You're
extra.
right.
That'd have been
Yeah,
an extra $45 a month for your visas, and then the expense, because you couldn't get a visa renewal in Dumaguete. You don't have an immigrant. Don't you have to? Oh, wait, didn't they put an immigration office in Dumaguete now?
yeah. There was always an immigration office, when I arrived in 2016.
Ah,
Uh, but I think well, during the pandemic. Okay, now there's another expense that I did was I did some traveling, and I do have a YouTube channel, and
oh,
I
nice.
and that is expensive. So I went to Malaysia a couple of times, and then I went to Singapore, and I
Of
made some
course,
videos.
expensive.
Singapore is a wonderful place,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
it's not cheap.
first place I stayed in Singapore, it was about $120 a night. And then I went to Little India, and it dropped, my price dropped down to about maybe 60, $70 for about
So
the same thing,
so
same hotel.
over that course of the years that you were there, if you
Yeah.
take that travel out, because again, you're not putting that travel into that amount of money, all right, into that budget.
No, no,
Okay.
that's
So
one of,
if you took the
yeah,
travel out of the equation, meaning you're going to be, and you took the scooter out of the equation, all right, that you would have been limited to jeepneys, trikes, taxis, and walking, you would have been at around the
the,
1,800, $800 to $900 a month. Would you have been happy
if you
there?
figure it in, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So would you
yeah,
have
it
been
was,
happy
yeah,
like that?
it's kind of like there, that like, you look at, Um, I can't remember the name of the channel, but I watched a channel where this guy he was in the province, and he rented a house, a 3 bedroom house, for like $60 a month. But there was a catch. He had to do all the renovations.
That's a hell of a catch. All right. I mean, that's
So
really a hell
the
of a
landlord did
catch.
all these renovations for free, but
Yeah.
but he's planning on staying there for a long time. So that's
Well,
his
yeah. Are you talking about
rationale.
are you talking about currently?
Yeah, I can't
I've
remember the
seen
name of the
this guy.
channel.
Hold on.
Oh,
I've
you've seen
seen
it.
this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, where he's like ripped out there were no cabinets. He's putting in cabinets. He's
Yeah.
extending the drive. Yeah. Hello, Kana from Phoenix. Whereabouts in Phoenix? I have a place up in Anthem. That's where we're from. So,
You're from where?
Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
My
that's
my daughter is up in Sacramento. So, all right.
yeah,
Okay.
well,
Hang on a second. Hillbilly Pro is joining. Let me pop him in, and then we're going to go to two guests and guest two. There we go. So now we have Hillbilly Pro and we have Sense of Style as well. And um, so in that little box that you have that you see your image in, Hillbilly, to the right is a button that allows you to turn on and off the community chat. So you'll be able to see the chat. I don't know if you can, if you're on a laptop, you may already see it, but on phones, it's I don't know whether you can see the chat or not. So, but either
So,
way, so how's things going? Now, what you're down in Cebu right now, or near Cebu?
in Toledo City.
In where?
Toledo City.
Toledo City, and how you liking it there?
It's really cool. I like it. Close to the port. I can get on a water taxi and head off to lots of different places. And Cebu is all right, but I just have a really hard time with the traffic. It's just
Well,
such a
you can't.
pain.
Don't you have a hard time? You can't blow anything up in Cebu.
Yeah, well, see, I have a big yard here in Toledo City, so I've been blowing stuff up from everything I got from New Year's Eve. So I've been enjoying the local fireworks, by the way. I found a lot of locally made stuff.
Oh, neat. Hold on a second. Sense of style. Michael Atos wants to know what it's costing you to live in Woodland Hills nowadays.
Well, I'm living in an apartment here, and it's about 700 square feet, one bedroom, and it's in a lot nicer area than I don't know. But it's a very nice area. It's a very nice building, and it's very expensive. So it's about 2,800 a month here,
Wow.
and I'm always looking around. Maybe I can get something comparable, a lot less. Maybe move to the west side. But when people say, "Oh, the Philippines is expensive," no, it isn't.
It's, you know what?
But
Depending on what your spendable income is, depending on how much, I mean, if somebody's only got $1,800 a month to spend, then the Philippines is expensive because they may choose to use all of that, or it's how they live and how much money they have. So, um,
well, this place is. I mean, I've got full size washer dryer in the apartment. I mean, it's very nice,
oh
and
yeah,
I'm thinking. Well, I don't know if you can see. Well, I don't know. Well, there's the kitchen. I don't know. You
yeah,
can see
no,
the
no.
kitchen,
I mean, it's
but
we're just looking at what rents are getting to be in
yeah.
California. Henry Bautista wants to know, can a couple with 2000 a month, no rent, only 2000 a month, no rent, only worry about food and not picky when eating, and I love to cook? Well, yeah, I mean, take a look at Hillbilly. How much are you spending a month, Hillbilly, on average?
I would say probably about 70,000, something like that.
Okay, so 2000 a month U.S. and not that's 50,000 and no 55,000, 110,000, um, and not even having to pay rent. They should be fine, right?
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, I have a pretty good
I think you
price.
could probably, yeah, you could do that.
yeah.
I think you could live in Dumaguete very easily with a couple for $2,000 a month. I mean, because like the place there I was living, I mean, you could get 2 bedroom, 2 bath for about $400 a month rent, and it was huge. I mean, I don't know how many square feet that thing was like, but say 1,000 square feet, 2 bedroom, 2 bath, upstairs, downstairs.
Oh, nice,
So
nice. So Sid
for
wants to
about four
know.
hundred dollars.
Sid wants to know how's the sex life in the Philippines. I guess it's pretty much what you make of it. I'm married. Mine's pretty good. I can't complain. I just saw the very tail end of what appeared to be a pretty young lady leaving Hillbilly's room. I don't think he's doing too poorly, to be honest
No,
with you. Um,
can't complain.
and I don't know. I get an idea that Sense of Style has never had to long for anything either. So I would think it. Um, what is this guy's expense back in California? Yeah, Mike, his rent is $2,800 a month.
Oh God.
All right, so big bear, huge bear, 250 square feet is really small. I could not live like that. I'll tell you, living conditions here, 250, yeah, it's small. California's unaffordable. Yeah, tell me. Um, that I fully understand. I really do. I cannot listen. Let's see here. Henry, by ask Ace, he knows.
Whew.
I don't know. I'm just reading through some of the comments, trying to get caught up here. So, Hillbilly, how's life been down there? You've been doing okay?
Yeah, I've really been enjoying myself. I went over to San Carlos to Small Fry Resort and spent a few days, and it was nice, but the beach and stuff was a little rough because of the high winds and everything. And I just enjoyed checking out the area more or less. Didn't do a whole lot, but it was a good time.
Good, good. All right. So I've
Now,
had a couple of people try to get into the live, and it's limited right now. So, Sense of Style, I'm gonna knock you out of the live for now to make room for another. Thank you so much, though. I really appreciate
Oh,
it. Okay, and then we'll go back up to here and up, up, up. Screwed that up. There we go. All right. And the old Cano says, let me ask my wife how her sex life is. Oh, better watch out, Robert. Better
oh boy,
watch out. Mike Dowdy says he can sit in the house in the US. He likes to travel. Yeah, it truly does. It's all about whatever you want it to be. And then you make
indeed.
it fit the way you want it to fit. Peter, did you stay at Calvin's? I have never stayed at Calvin's. Um, I'll just put it to you very bluntly. I don't watch Calvin. I don't care for his vlog, and that's just all I'll say. What people need to understand: the Philippines is an outdoor life country. They cook outside, spend most of their time outside. So 300 square feet is eat, sleep, crap, home. Um, I don't know. Um, Michael, there's a lot of people that don't do that. Uh, take a look at all the high-rise condos in BGC and Makati and Cebu. Not well, even Cebu has some. Uh, Quezon City, they're not eating and drinking outside. Um, you know, um, they're going out to dinner, sure, but there's a limit. Let's see here. We'll just go there. There we go. So let me put the guys. Uh, Let me see. Okay, so now I've got the room. The old Cano says he hopes things. How guys? How are things doing? If you'd like to join the live stream, the link is in below. Mike Dowdy, was that Calvin's ex on Judge Joe? Really? I have no idea, Mike. I really don't. There were a lot of people that said there were a lot of possibilities in it. That's for sure. Peter, Calvin was referring to the gentleman that cammed up that stayed in San Carlos. I don't know. Um, but it wasn't me. We've never, Arlen and I, we've never stayed there. A Joe named Mike. Yeah, that's Provident like. Yes. You know what? And our home in Mindanao, we do cook outside. We have an indoor kitchen and an outdoor kitchen, dirty kitchen, and uh, we do cook out in the dirty kitchen quite often. Absolutely. And what happened to Santa Claus? Oh, it was just time to move on. Hillbilly says he kicked myself out. Okay. And Mike, I just watched Mike's latest vlog. We watched the Judge Mathis show with his wife. Yeah, Pablo, that's what people are saying. That is Calvin's wife. I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. So, cost of living and budgeting and expenses are different for different people. That's kind of where we were going. Our lifestyle will not fit other people. Other people's lifestyles will not fit ours. Um, how we choose to live our life is just like how you choose. You make a decision on what makes you happy. And that's the biggest, most important part. Be able to support your lifestyle, have the emergency funds that you need, and at that point, live your life and enjoy it. Province life. Ilo is the province. There was 9 Ferraris, 4 Lambos, and a handful of Porsches at the last cars and coffee. But that's province life. Yeah, Mike. You're right. People think the Philippines is poor, and it is not poor. I mean, don't get me wrong. The vast majority is poor, but there is a lot of money in the Philippines as well. Um, you know, um, we know somebody that literally races Lambos, has a racing team right here in Angeles with a, depending on which category, he's got a Lambo and he's got an absolutely devastating Mustang. So there's money here. Pablo, Calvin's wife, has a mole to prove it. The old Cano, lifestyles are all over the place. Contentment is paramount. Absolutely, Robert. It's being happy. And, it is whatever it is that makes you happy. Dinnigan here. The nice cars come out to play. Ah, okay. Henry Batista, playing tennis every day will make me happy. Walk, eat, singing after playing. Well, you should be able to do it on a pretty good budget then. Sense of style. Yes, there's a Lamborghini dealer in Global City. Yes, there is. I've heard about it, never been there. I've seen purple and black. Oh, Varon go down the road. That's like a super. Isn't that like one of those like 150, $250,000 cars? I mean, I don't know. I'm not that big of a car guy, but it just rings a bell. In the province, do they have toilets that flush? Sure. They have toilets that don't flush too. I mean, it's very dependent. In our house in the province, we have full size standard American toilets and they flush. In Arlen's father's house, He has a toilet, quite frankly, that is something reminiscent of those little itty bitty toilets that were in the third and fourth grade elementary schools. And you put water in the tank in the back and flush. All right. In another place, they don't even have a tank in the back. You just drop it into the bowl and put water to the bowl and hit flush. So it just depends on where it goes. Hillbilly Pro says, yeah, it's a supercar, over $1 million. But yes, Michael says, I will say this: you can rent a condo in IT Park and Smooth for about $30 a night. Rent it for 2 weeks, $450 fees, and have a lifestyle you never can afford for a working class guy. So it's 2 weeks, $450. That's $900 a month in rent. You're not going to do that and still have a lifestyle for but that doesn't make sense. 30, 3 sevens, 21. Yeah. Yeah. That's not going to do that with that $1,000 a month budget, though, Michael. I don't think my math is correctly. Why do the guys like gambling so much there? I don't know. You know what, Michael? We used to live a 3.5 hour drive to Vegas. They love to gamble there. So I don't know. I have no idea. The one thing many of us have in common is that we can't get back time. So if you're thinking about possible life in the Phils, get over there and check it out. You should. You should. And don't move here. Come check it out. Look at some different places. Mike, the overwhelming majority of wealthy retirees where I live are retired OFWs. In fact, Mike, the new home in my neighborhood with a finished out price is a cool $1 million. Wow. Yeah. I mean, and you can see it all over the place. I mean, if you look at Bel Air in Makati, those houses start at 3 million US and go up into the teens. It's crazy. Is your CR there? Is your CR there right now white? You mean the toilet bowl itself or the tile? We have one color tile on the floor, one color tile on the walls of the one color tile on the shower floor, different color on the bathroom floor, granite countertops. No, there's not much other than the sink and the toilet itself. There's nothing white in our CR. Van Turner, no, it's biracial. How you doing, Van? So Kana says, wifey and I invested in a vacation lot house in Pangasinan province. So beautiful. We go home 2 times a year. Nice. Very nice. Where in the Phoenix area are you at, Kana? Is a Filipino family. Mine is the baby house. Are you saying you have the smaller house in the neighborhood full of Filipinos? And I've seen the outside of Robert's house, the old Cano, and it is not a small home. Better question is, why do the worst singers sing karaoke? I got to tell you, the trike drivers at the end of the road sing karaoke once in a while, and they're not bad. But there is a house 2 blocks over, and because we're up high, we can see them, and they sing karaoke once in a while, and they have some folks there that don't sing a lot of great karaoke. I had to add the hot water heater here, but that was simple to install. Yeah. Yep. What city did you live in near Vegas? Phoenix. North Phoenix. Forbes Park is in Spain. Yep. Yes, visit for Sense of Style says the same thing. Hillbilly, did you say you're from West Virginia? Mike, you probably noticed the new recently implemented ad format on YouTube with them posting ads that are unskippable, sometimes 30 seconds or longer. Have you noticed a revenue? No. You know what, Matt? We make so little money on YouTube, it's not even funny. Um, you know, it's not uncommon for us to make less than $100 a month. It's um, we've never had a month where we made more than $160. For us, it really and truly is a hobby. It really is a hobby. Henry, yes, the toilet bowl. Yeah, the toilet bowl's white. Yeah. I'm saying a vacation when you're living in the Philippines or come to the Philippines or vacations, you can't get a nice hotel room in downtown Chicago. No, no, you can't, Michael. I used to have to go to Chicago once a year for a medical conference that they hold every year. And those rooms were so expensive. I always stayed at the Drake, and it's not the fanciest hotel, but it's not cheap. It's old. Uh, it's traditional, I guess is the word for it. Very good service, great oyster bar. But right up the street from that is one of my favorite steakhouses, the old Rosebud. So I used to enjoy staying there. Mike used to live about 15 minutes from Bluefield. Henry says, as long as the toilet is clean, I have shower, I'll be happy. Okay. Oh, Goodyear. Oh, we could have done lunch sometime. I know Goodyear quite well. Yeah, Michael, it is difficult. I do understand that. I really do. Cool. I lived in West Virginia. This conversation. My toilets are all white so the drunks can find it after the party. It's more like, so I can find it in the dark. All right. It has a reflection. Although my wife swears that I don't hit it all the time. That's just what she says. I don't think that's true. But cool. I live on the Virginia side. Nothing worse than roosters, barking dogs, and bad karaoke. You know what? You can get used to the roosters. After a while, you just tune it right out. The barking dogs, they can be a little annoying, but bad karaoke, because there's so much good karaoke, bad karaoke just hurts your ears. The Pagansina Falls canoe ride up the river to the falls is really nice. If you haven't been, you should try it. Nice. Fan says, I have big barking dogs. No robberies. There you go. I'm going to put the link back in below again. If anybody wants to cam up, it's there. Lazada left me hanging again. I ordered a yard trimmer from them and it's missing parts. That's crazy. But I tell you what, I swear we have better luck with Lazada than we have with Shopee. It seems like everything on Shopee is just a ripoff. Caught you live just now. How you doing, Chris? Talking about oysters, fresh runs, where in Pampang can I buy them and how much? I have no idea. I really don't. Um, um, I don't know that there are good oysters in comparison to here. Every oyster that, well, you know what? I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't know. I really don't. And rather than try and make up some bullshit about it. Oh, Mike is coming in, maybe. Let's put him here. And then we're going to put him in guest one. And then we're going to do that. So we've got you now, Mike.
What's going on, man?
Oh, same old stuff. How have you been?
I'm good. I'm good. Just resting, man. Just wanted to check out this. You got everything figured out already with the live stuff,
I
man.
think so. All right. So for you to see the chat, you got to, where you see, first off,
Yeah, I see the chat. I see the chat right now. I'm
okay.
looking at it.
All right, great. So, so you think that it's highly possible that was Calvin's wife?
It's. I guess somebody asked him the question in a previous live, and he about the situation being in Judge Mathis, and he confirmed it already.
Oh, really?
So, and then for some reason, somebody then messaged me, you got to check it out. So I came onto his live, just rolled up in the front, and somebody, trolled him, I guess. It wasn't me, by the way. It wasn't me. Somebody trolled him, and, the guy, is that your wife at Mike's Philippine Journey? And he just kicked the guy out right away, super fast.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
you know.
Wow. Jeez. I don't know what to say. I mean, I've had a crazy life in times, but I don't
Mhm.
think I've ever had a wife. Well, I know I've never had a wife. I'm pretty sure I've never had a relative that made it into, one of these Rafi Tufalo, Judge Judy, Judge Mathis type
I know,
situations.
I know. It
It's
was
like, wow.
I'll be honest, it's not like something like, somebody messaged me about that, and, and the person is is a trusted person, but it's still, I'm gonna say it was alleged because, you just never know, even though the fact that 2 more people who I know are part of his NTZ crew, verified that that was his wife.
Wow.
Yeah. And if you
Uh,
look at when you look at when it was released, um, it coincides with him all of a sudden making a decision, an announcement months ago that he's flying back to the US to fix some stuff. And then, of course, all that stuff showed up that he's divorcing his wife. So that means he's been married with a woman.
yeah.
So,
Well, but you know what? He's not the only one that um, is skirting around the marriage subject, but we won't go into that. Uh, um,
Yeah.
you
And,
know,
and it's I think it's a lesson learned for a lot of people. It's like, you start talking about running away from, escaping the rat race when your tail's still stuck
yeah,
in a way, just, get rid of the stuff that's going to make you have to then come back to fix things. And at the same time is, you put yourself in trouble with that. A lot of guys don't understand this because number one, you can get got like right now, for example, if his wife wants to do something bad to him right now, she can file charges of concubinage for him
yes.
because he obviously bought the woman a house, his girlfriend, they're living in together. That is concubinage in the Philippines.
Well, they've had a child together.
And that's also then what you call adultery, right? So if he really messes up with that woman can file so many charges on Calvin so fast. So fast.
Wow.
Right? I mean, you can say that Calvin's breaking so many laws in the Philippines. And I'm not gonna say let's just remove him from that. It's like also talking to guys out there because there's guys that are married still in the United States or Europe, whatever in Europe, and they're meeting Filipinas already when they come to the Philippines. Like there, a lot of guys are planning their escape, and they're finding women first before they even divorce their women,
They're escaping into another cell. They're leaving
which is
one
wrong.
jail cell into another jail cell. The only
Exactly.
problem is I honestly think they may have many more options in America once they get in trouble than they would here.
Yeah, everyone has options everywhere. I just think that like in America, like we complain about toxic feminism in the United States of America. I get it. Feminism is everywhere. Guys complain that women are no longer like they were in the US. I hear that a lot. And I agree. But my answer to that is, are you looking for the women though? Those guys that complains have not even approached a woman in years. And to add to that is, yeah, the women are no longer like they were because the women that you want are the young ones and the women that,
Yeah,
you know, would get with you are the ones of your age. And I understand guys wanting to be with younger women. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand it,
sure.
but you can't complain about women that you can never even approach in your country to say that they've changed.
Well,
And so that's just my thing on that.
no, I actually, I think what we run into is a bigger issue of men being lazy,
Mm. Ooh.
just downright lazy. It's, I mean, the one thing that we see so often is rather than take care of, rather than do the work that it requires for me to clear up my messes here, I'm going to
Mhm.
go start a new life somewhere else. And you know something? I can buy whatever I want there. I don't have to work for
Mhm.
it. I don't have to be a better person. I don't have to do this. And to me, that's a form of being lazy. Um, you know, uh, um, we see, because we live in Angeles, we see, I think, on uh, I think we see more expats than anybody else. I think the highest, densest population of non-working expats is here in Angeles. And we see them coming over all the time. And we see them
Mhm.
showing up all the time. And they are so ill prepared. They are um, um, you know, there are those guys that um, there are those guys that are permanently fixed. In other words, um, they have a military pension on top of their
Mhm.
other pension on top of this,
Oh,
and
those entitled men.
oh, there's entitled guys. Yeah, we won't talk about that. All right, although we could, but you know what? John kills me. All right, just that's just all there is to
I got you to segue to him all of a
it.
sudden.
Just
I'm just fascinated.
no, you know what? It's not that he's not. You know what? Let me finish this part. We'll go to
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
All right. So John does kill me, but what I see is that people see these guys, all right, and they say, "Oh, I've got my Social Security. I've got my this and that." What happens if something happens to that? What happens instead of getting that annual COLA? There's a
Mhm.
drop in your benefit.
Mhm.
What happens if that? The military is going to pay that retirement out for freaking ever. What if they change the disability laws for some
I believe
people?
they did. I believe they're planning to some restructuring, if I'm correct. There's gonna be some adjustments happening, I think, this year.
They are. I mean, I heard like tinnitus. The
Mhm.
most you can get for a tinnitus rating in the future is going to be
Mhm.
like 40%, unless
Mhm.
you are totally deaf in that ear. Um, but even Social Security disability, I think, is going to be adjusted. And, I'm all for, what, if a guy served in the military, if he put his life on the line, then, and the military said, if you do this, these are your benefits, then we have to own up to those things. But there's a
Mhm.
limit to certain other parts and pieces to that.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't even know what that is. But getting back to John, I went back, I went back and looked and listened to the video he did before he joined the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just amazed, to be honest with you. First off, he didn't get the point that I was trying to make in the live stream. And that often happens. I think sometimes John's sense of sarcasm or British Australian sarcasm is different,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes whatever. But my point with that, and I told people before you got here, all right, and I'll make this statement again right now. All right. I was a born diabetic type 1.
Okay.
I'm a type 1 diabetic. I've been on the needle for insulin all my life. When
Wow.
I was a teenager, I was told at that point in time, and because I'm no spring chicken, the average lifespan of a type 1 diabetic at birth was 48 years. Now it's gone up to like 54, 56 now. I beat everything. I'm past it.
Awesome.
All right. It's great. But why would anybody care if I've got the money how I live my life as long as I don't impact? Why is it, am I entitled because I worked and made some money? Am I entitled because I'm spending it the way I'm enjoying my life the way I want to enjoy life? All right. Because I might not be around tomorrow.
No, I think you have every right to be able, you if you earned it, it's yours. I mean, you can do whatever with what you want to do with that and stuff like that. I think that majority of the time the people that complains about people that do like what you're saying you're doing are the ones that can't do that. That's all it was all the time. People will always be, you know what, I can't do that, so I'm gonna bitch about it. Majority of times that's why those guys are mad about it. And so, I mean, okay, fine. It's funny how like, oh, you guys have your pensions, and I'm like, well, you guys got your free healthcare. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? We have to pay for healthcare. It's like we can play the back and forth and everything. In the end, it's what you do with your life. In the end, that you can do. I mean, like technically, if I look at it, the amount of money I've spent on my insurances and stuff like that, I could have had a nice savings with and invested in a nice way to be able to increase the what I have. I mean, I've been spending what in average, you know, before I got into like business, I'm spending what, $300-400 a month for insurance. And I've never had something major in my life happen. So imagine if I just had that money instead, if I had free healthcare. But
Right.
the thing though is like, in the end, it's like we can talk about this stuff, but it's funny how like when you start talking about it, he feels that we're being smugged about it by talking about, have this much amount of money. I think 2,500, 3,000 you should have. And he doesn't like that. And he says it's not fair. I'm like, well, no, nothing in life is fair, but that doesn't mean that we can't discuss it. It's not
Yeah.
like we're trying to give it to you. We don't,
And
it's like
and I
mm,
get it. I get it where um Australian and British pension plans are different than American.
yeah,
All right. But I don't know that difference. I don't know anything to be able to speak about them. But
sure.
John doesn't understand, he doesn't understand the difference between a defined benefit plan, a pension, a 401k, and Social Security. All right.
Yeah,
The
probably.
only free money in all four of those categories is
Mhm,
one half of Social Security's contribution by the employer.
mhm.
And if you're self employed, you're still paying 100%. But
Yep,
every penny of those plans, all right, you and I paid into,
yep.
all right?
Mhm.
You and I are paying into that. I mean, we fund our 401k as a business owner at 100%. The business didn't match it. It came out of the profits of my business that I could have
Hmm.
matched. All right. Social Security, that didn't come out of anything else. That what 3.25%. I don't know. I haven't had to fund it in a while, but something like 3.25% comes out of the company, and another 3% out of the individual. Um, you know, that's money that came out of our pocket. Um, it's not government free money. So I don't know how their pension system works. I don't know
Plus
what it.
also not a lot of Americans have pensions. I don't have a pension because I've been doing business for a whole life. It's not like I create companies, create pension. I didn't do that. I had to put my money in the side, you know, and I had to invest it in myself to be able to kind of create my own way of having my own pension. But I've been owning companies my whole life, pretty much since I was 24. So I'm not that lucky person that's gonna. I'm not a person that served my country in regards for the military service and everything like that. I don't have that capability. So to think that all of a sudden all Americans have this, and the fact that we're entitled, because he's pretty much talking about military men. The military is a small percentage of the whole population of the United States of America. So what are you talking about that, he's going to say Americans come here? Not all Americans that come to the Philippines are military. There's a
No.
good amount, but not all. So it's like it's just funny to me how he kind of tries to use that and using a
Yeah.
small population to kind of put down Americans.
And he was complaining about the SRV. Well, I mean, get a 13A visa.
Well,
But
it's funny how in one live he says he's married, and all of a sudden when I ask him the question, he's like he's not married.
yeah, he does have to be live.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
have an answer for anything. Um, I'm not going to sit here and call him names like
Yeah,
he did. I mean, I
respect.
think that I'm a bigger man than that. I don't need it to get the views or anything. Um, and I wish him the best and success. Uh, but I think that he's a little mistaken, and certainly there's a big
Hmm.
mistake between how he considers money with regards to expenses and budgeting, and I do. I think, and you as a business owner, I don't know how you think about your personal finances, but my personal finances, my business finances, I
Hmm.
think along the same way of thought. I use GAAP accounting, generally accepted accounting procedures. I use the same different. You know something? When you take money out of your savings to buy something, that's not an expense. All
No.
right? That you take it out of the company maybe, but when you take it out of yourself, it's not an expense. All right? It's actually a you loan it to the company. So
So you're talking
um,
about like if somebody has a small business type of a setup, right? So if you're taking out of your savings, yeah, it's like that's the thing with when you're in business a lot. There's a lot of people have that confusion. I used to understand, like I used to tell people who had started their business, I'm like, never take it from your checking account to pay for something. You have to create a thing that says you're loaning it to your business,
right.
because later on, if you just use your checking to buy a product for your business, that's not how it works. And a lot of guys, that starts off in business doesn't understand that. I
No.
didn't know how to do that. I did it for like 5 years thinking that was okay. Then until like I hire actually an accountant who does business accounting, is when he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, my old accountant was allowing me to do it." And he's like, "No, you can't." And he's like, so you learn stuff as you start businesses, and
Yeah.
it's like, but yeah, that's a whole different setup. I mean, it's even gone to the point for me. I towards the end of my business, I stopped doing savings. I just stopped having a savings account. I just had, my checking account, and even with checking, you separate you separate your payroll. You have to have the checking just for payroll. Like, there's like things that you learn in business that makes you a little bit better, to adjust in life later on. Um,
And
Other than that,
and
I would not have known that.
and you know what? I don't know what accounting laws are like in Australia. because
Mhm.
I have no idea what or how he ran his business. All
Mhm.
right. So I got no idea. I have no idea. The guy
Yeah,
could have $1 million sitting in the bank for all we know.
could. Yeah, he
Good,
could.
good. More power to him. So, but either way, doesn't really matter. We just
Yeah.
get on down the road and figure it out piece by piece and everything. I
Exactly,
see
exactly.
Andy's in the chat right now.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that.
Dave's in the chat.
There was a good question asked. I don't know, just talking about the Calvin stuff, because somebody said something like, "Well, can Calvin charge his wife the same thing because she's with that guy?" Or, Calvin's wife was living with a bloke. Wouldn't she be subject to the same issues if she filed against Calvin? It depends, on the state if Calvin wants to put those charges on her in the states, depending on the state, if that's something that is in the law, depending per state. But the thing though is, just because she did it in the US, he has to do it in the US. He can't charge her with those charges in the Philippines because the crime was committed in the United States, but she can
Well,
charge him for that.
I can tell you right now, only because I got pissed off. All right.
Mhm.
But I know that as of 2013,
Okay.
adultery is no longer a chargeable offense in
Oh,
Arizona, Nevada, and California.
interesting.
It's no longer a chargeable offense there. All right. And
Yep. Depends on the state.
it's no longer a um, listed reason for divorce.
Adultery?
Yep. It's
But
just like
you know, but
you
then
can
we have no fault divorces though, so it
it's
doesn't really
all no
matter no
fault.
more. Yeah, it's all
It's
no
all
fault
no
divorces.
fault,
Yeah.
So it's so they don't even do it. But adultery is not a criminal offense or a civil offense in Arizona, Nevada, and California in 2013 when I looked it up.
Mm.
So
Yeah, people need to learn that. Actually, I learned something new today, actually.
what's up?
Um, so you know how there's no divorce in the Philippines, but there's annulment, right?
Right.
So, some guys will be like, "Well, I just want to separate from my wife, this and that. So we're gonna have an annulment." It cannot be where you both agree to have an annulment. That's actually against the annulment laws in the Philippines. So you can't be like, you wanna just end this marriage, right? So that we can go our own way. So we're gonna get an annulment, right? You agree? I agree. Let's go and apply, right? Turns out to be by both of you guys agreeing to the annulment is actually against the rules of annulment in the Philippines.
So it has to be like you're an asshole. I'm getting an annulment.
Pretty much. Because there's only several things why you can get annulment, right? Where it's psychological issues, right? There's the so I
Abuse.
mean, yeah, so there's several things in there. So that's something I learned kind of new today, and I was like, "What?" Because I was speaking to this lawyer. I was trying to get this lawyer to see if I can do an interview with her, and she's a pretty lawyer too. And I was like looking about, man. I was like, and so she was asking me what kind of information, what kind of like stuff do we talk about, and I brought that up about annulments, about this, about that, and she's like, well, let me give you something that most people don't know, and I was just like, oh wow, okay, I didn't know that. So somebody had pretty much you're trying to leave the person because it's not a match, but so that's a big difference in the
I
Philippines.
never, I didn't look deeply. I mean, I didn't look deeply into it here in the Philippines. I know there's annulment. I know it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get, but it
Mhm.
can be done. And,
Yeah.
you just got to go on. I thought what was interesting is one of the statistics I came across
Mm.
was that the Philippines up until 2017 was keeping track of annulments. Okay.
Okay.
And for like the last 4 years or 5 years prior
Okay.
to 2017,
Mm.
the
Okay.
Philippines was tracking 10,000 annulments a year.
Interesting.
So it ain't that hard to get
No.
when you
It's just
consider,
money.
yeah, it's just money. Um, Ban Jammy. Ban Jammy says he's too pretty for Philippines bend over hotel. All right, Ban. I'll go with you on that. All right, we'll let you go with that. Let's see here. What else is going on? I got a couple of different things going on this week with no travel. Arlen's. Oh, wait. Yeah, next week, Arlen's. We've got Arlen's sister's wedding. Oh, you know what? What did I'm gonna? You know, I was looking at John's video, one of them. Okay, and he's talking about I'm in my bedroom doing videos, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's one bedroom in our condo. We have other. All right, our master bedroom. This is a guest room. It's really my office. Very few people do it. But then he talks about everything I do is behind here, is right here, talking head here. And I started thinking, hold on a second. In the past year, we've done videos in Thailand. We've done videos in Bohol. We've done videos in Boracay. We've done videos in Manila. We've done videos in Subic. I saw him go to the beach once. All right. And he lives 15, 20 minutes from the beach.
And that's that used to be the top, surfing beach in the Philippines until Siargao came along. So,
really?
That's what La Union was. Yeah, La Union was one of the surfing spot of the Philippines for a long time till all of a sudden people started going to Siargao. So that's pretty much how that kind of stuff changed up a little bit.
I didn't know that. I had no idea, to be honest with you. I've been up that area. I've been up there. But
what?
I did not know.
Yeah, the nightlight over there looks ghetto to me. It reminds me of like you're somewhere in like, I don't know, Bumbleland in the US, like Arizona somewhere. But like, the thing though is like what you said, it's because of what he chooses to watch. He's just, he has that, that goggles type of a look because he's gonna try to make a confirmation bias just to be able to make a stuff about you. It's just like for me, for example, a lot of people are going to say, Michael's never been to the Philippines and he's talking. They're saying that right now at this very moment when everybody has seen me do lives in the Philippines, walk around in the Philippines, hang out on the beach in the Philippines. But, they want to make that type of stuff because of what they watch. And that's why I say just watch more than what you should have, than what you have, and or at least research it. If you're going to say, well, if I say like you, for example, well, Mike's not really in the Philippines. I mean, look, that looks like a condo in the US. That's impossible. That's not in the Philippines. Well, just go ahead and keep on searching a little bit. I mean, one good, perfect example, if people know Candy Tower, if people know Angeles City pretty much, Candy Rooms have that similar, the similar, like, right. I mean, right when I saw that one photo, I knew right away, oh, he lives in Candy Tower. I didn't even need to watch more videos where you claim that you're in Candy Tower. I just knew right away that's a Candy Tower place. And so that's the thing is like, just do some deductions. But some people want to talk like that, which is funny.
I don't know what to say. On one end, it's like, does he not understand? And then on the other hand, is it just he's bitter enough to create misconceptions to figure it out? Oh no! Let's see what I'm worried about this. I'm very worried. Guest.
Make sure that they have before. Here's an advice before you put them in. Make sure they have their camera on, because there's some people out there when you put the link out, they'll join you and then they'll put a naked photo.
Yeah,
and
I can see it.
Okay, instantly YouTube will like strike you and cancel your channel right away. So you always be careful about that.
Andy's don't tell me, Andy, it's 11:29 in the morning. Have you started drinking or are you still recovering?
Good Lord. Andy.
I haven't been going out. I gone out on Friday, not yesterday. I stayed home. I had a live stream. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Damn it, Andy,
Yeah.
you already
I actually don't drink a lot. When I go out, I do drink a lot, like insane amounts, but I usually would go like once a month, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Chippy, how are
and just
you?
to let you know, I am a witness to Andy's drinking when he's going out. Like Andy was like doing everything to try to get me drunk. Like when I met with Andy and we went out, Andy was trying to get me drunk. He was like literally handing me liquor all the time. And I was like, dude, I need to call him. He goes, and Andy gave me the stink eye, and I was like, no, I'm not trying to I just can't be drunk. But Andy was giving me a stink eye, man, which is
You
hilarious.
know what's funny?
It was fun.
I get people that ask me all the time, well, what's it like drinking with Ace Bachelor Cool? What's it like drinking with Andy Omar? What's it like? And I'm like, I'll be honest with you. I've never gone drinking or bar hopping with Andy.
Uh-huh.
I've never gone bar hopping with Ace Bachelor Cool. Now, D
Uh-huh.
Web, all right, D Web can smash that
What's up, David?
gigantic margarita, all right, but but no, you know what? People think because we have experience doing stuff, it's years of experience. All right. Not that we go out drinking every night.
Yeah, that's true.
As a matter of fact, that time I hung out with Andy was the same night I hung out with Ace Bachelor Cool. It was all in one night.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it was. Ace gets drunk pretty fast, but
Does he?
Yeah, he did.
I do as well. There's times when I do. Yeah.
Oh wow. Um, let's see here. John doesn't realize that none of our pensions are guaranteed. We're guaranteed to pay in, but consider the percentage of people that don't live enough to collect. Yeah, Matt, you're correct.
It's like Social
Can anybody
Security.
see me here?
So yeah, I see. Dave, I see
I
everybody.
can't see
no.
the others there, man.
No, because what happens, Mike, is in our screens, all we see is ours and your face, but we don't see
Yeah.
it. So the only way I knew that David was on the line was I had my phone right in front of
So
me.
in
Okay.
StreamYard, can you see everybody?
Yes.
Seems to me there should be a setting that I can put so you guys can do that in Ecamm.
Yeah, there's I was watching Ecamm. There's a separate pop-up. You know how you have all those windows that you open up, so you have to find a window that allows you to see that so you can see what's going on. Or you
So,
just
Mike,
have your YouTube up.
So, Mike, you're
What's up,
currently on StreamYard right now?
Yeah.
No. I'm using an Ecamm right now.
Oh, you're
I'm
using
on
it.
Ecamm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because and then also, Mike, I'll message you on WhatsApp later to let you know about a little thing that you need to know about the links. But I won't do it here just in case there's people out there listening. But I'll message you about the links with Ecamm.
Well, getting back to the subject of drinking, there, the good doc that he's witness to, and he is witness to the jacuzzi that I drank that night, and the follow up double up tequila shot of what's it, Casa Noble Reposado there, and that did it for me right there, man. Did it for me.
Pablo, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Yeah,
And Mike,
you guys drink, I think, more. I don't drink that much.
well, I got to chill, man, because come Wednesday, man, I'll be 55, man. And I am a card carrying member of AARP there, Jack. I am a card carrying member. So rest assured, I am going to Denny's and get that half price Grand Slam breakfast there, going to McDonald's, get my free coffee. And I don't have hemorrhoids, but if they're going to give me a free tube of Preparation Nation, damn it, I'm going to take that too, okay?
Don't forget you get the free movie tickets on Thursdays in the Philippines soon enough.
Word?
Oh shit! For real?
Yeah.
They do? Damn.
Yeah, if you have a senior card, you get free movies every Thursday.
Senior card.
Oh,
and
shit.
They won't
I'm
give
getting
it to you anymore.
Wow.
See, like we're teaching people here right now.
Yeah, but they won't.
You're teaching me.
You're
teaching me. Hell. Andy, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man.
Right
Glad
on,
you're doing
right
all
on.
good, man.
Yeah, right on. I'm just down on a Kenai River beer here, made from gummy bears, 7,200 gummy bears. Yes, and it's very good there, Doc. It's a 9.0.
Oh,
Yeah.
just so you know, Mike, I'm sure you know this, but they won't. You have to be a Filipino citizen to get a senior card now. I tried. They
They
quit doing
changed
it.
it. They stopped
It-
giving. Really? Well,
yes.
David
So
can
what if
get
you're
it because
okay?
he's half
What if
Filipino.
you're a dual citizen? There you go. What if you're a dual?
Exactly, you
What if you're
can.
a dually?
Yeah, you get
I'm
it.
sure
You get
you
it. If you're
can, right? Like, I think citizens can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you got to be a Filipino citizen to get the senior card because the benefits on that damn card are unbelievable. I mean, I can tell
Uh-huh.
you right now,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
on a 24-inch iMac. All right, I put Chrome up, and it's 2 pages, all the benefits,
Okay.
you get discount on everything,
airfare.
and another thing that you should get if you, I mean, this is for the dual citizens. Like, if you get like, for example, like the PWD cards in the Philippines,
Mhm.
right? If
Oh,
you're PWD in the Philippines, you can like get like, if you go to a concert, you can actually go in go in before everybody else.
Yeah,
Like, there's so many, like, and then it's just hilarious, like all the different benefits that are coming up. And then you can get all the percentage off, the senior discounts with like Potato Corner and all that stuff. Shh, it's
I heard
done.
about Potato Corner. Man. I heard about Potato Corner, bro. But if
I like
Eric B. and
potato
Rakim
corn.
is playing out there and giving a concert out there in Manila, shit, I'm down there. But I
yeah.
highly doubt it there. Highly doubt it.
So, Andy, what are you up to the rest of the week?
Nothing really. I'm a homebody. Actually, I got some traveling to do on Friday. Uh, I'm going to certain locations around Leyte area, and yeah,
Oh,
um,
late day. Oh,
yeah, I
Oh
got
shit! Here we
Leyte.
go with that.
I knew
Here we
it.
go with
Then
that.
I usually travel there. I used to travel a lot there before. I still do.
Okay.
Then okay, then I got El Nido the next week. Then I got Boracay the week afterwards,
That's
and
nice.
possibly Thailand and Vietnam. We'll see because my brother's coming over, my older brother. So
That's great.
that'll be pretty fun, I guess. Yeah. So he wants to do Vietnam and Thailand. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Take him over.
absolutely. Thailand. I mean,
Yeah.
Thailand's a blast.
Hmm.
You've been there a lot of times. You've, the whole Thailand drill. Has he ever been to Thailand?
No, it'll be his first time in Asia, actually.
Oh my God, take him to
Yeah.
Thailand for a few days.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Even if you
make
do
him
Hey, Doc.
experience the Blade show.
Doc, I just want to ask you something. Are you guys seeing me clearly here on here? Because I changed up my settings on my ZVE10 and whatnot.
I see you clearly. Let me.
Okay.
I mean, you seem to be a little bit blurry to me, but I think that's your data stream. Andy's crystal
Probably,
clear, or it might be lighting. I'm not. Uh,
Could
uh,
be. I'm still trying to figure this
Oh,
whole thing out here.
I'll take the
because,
bait. I'll take the bait. It's your skin, David. Okay, you need to
I
fix
didn't
the.
want to
You
say
need,
it.
you
I
need
I
understand
swear
that,
to
but
God.
thank you so much.
You
Thank
need
you
a
for your
ring
brutal
lighting.
honesty.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Come on, man. You know
I
that.
was gonna. You know what?
You're too
With
more
that
than I am
black
right now.
shirt and that dark complexion, it might not require a
Hey
little
man, hey,
color.
Jesus.
Do I
at
need
least,
to
hey,
put? Do I need
at
to
least,
put a clear white?
let me, at least, at least I
in the
ain't
back?
Michael Black's in black, okay? At least I ain't Michael Black's in black.
You'd be like I'm 11:59.
You know,
11:59 black, under the bed black, okay?
that's funny.
Oh shit! Let's don't go there, okay? At least I ain't Calvin Black. Oh shit!
Oh my God, I can't believe you
I
did
didn't
that.
do it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me
Hey
this time.
man, Doc,
Oh,
if you get a strike on this man, blame Mike, okay?
I got a strike. Nah, you know what? I got a strike on yesterday's live.
Oh wow.
What?
How did you get a
What?
strike? I say a
No,
lot
I'm
of
sorry,
crazy
not a
things.
strike. Ad suitability, not a strike. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I always get those.
okay.
I got an
I get
ad
those a lot.
suitability on a live. I mean, how do you get an ad suitability? I guess if there's a lot of language, maybe, but
Yeah. hardly there was like one of my worst lives that I've said like crazy derogatory terms and everything like that actually got monetized. But usually when I control myself on certain lives, like yesterday for example, I try to control myself, it
You
was at suitability. So it's weird. Sometimes it's like my worst lives are monetized, but the ones that are I control myself, they're not. It's weird.
Like,
It's the
yeah,
opposite
like
for
for
me.
me, wise, I'll get ad suitability the first 24, 48 hours, and then it will change to green, like 3 days later. But if you want to jump it faster, just the moment you see it, it turns yellow. Just go up against it. Those YouTube reviewers are not going to watch your whole live. They're just going to watch the first 15 minutes. So pretty much, just make sure that you be good for the first 20, 30 minutes of a live, and then you'll get away from a lot of things. Not unless you're
Right.
using like the big words. If you use if you were used, for example, instead of the JUN, will say, if you say the word, that one's gonna always get hit. If you're gonna say anything about the A to the B to the U to the S to the E words, that always gets hit all the time. There's just certain things that they don't like.
Now, Doc, I got to ask you a question about this Ecamm that you're using. How do you like that as opposed to StreamYard? I mean,
I
is there
like Ecamm. It's more complicated than StreamYard, but
Yep.
it
right,
has got so many features.
mhm,
But there's no free version or
right,
slightly free version. All right.
right,
Um, and right now, my biggest complaint about Ecamm is trying to get all of you to see each other, to see the
right,
entire live. And
right.
I know
Mhm.
there's got to be a way to do it. I just got to go watch some more videos and figure it out.
Now,
Um,
Mike, I'm sorry there, Doc, but Mike,
Mm.
I was watching that live stream, not the one that you had with the Australian guy there, Doc, but the follow up when you was testing out Ecamm there. And my question to you, Mike, is you had mentioned, I guess, during that live or something like that, that you had used it also. How did you find it, and what do you prefer to use more?
that I had used StreamYard.
No, I'm talking to Mike, the other Mike.
Mike.
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
I love Ecamm, but of course you have to have Mac only to be able to use Ecamm. That's the first
Gotcha,
thing. The
gotcha.
next thing is, the only thing I don't like about Ecamm is the fact that it does not store your stuff in the cloud. It has to store in your computer. So you have to
Oh, okay.
have, like I have I have 200 over 250, available space, but
Right,
like I'm really bad at erasing stuff, deleting stuff, and at the same time
right,
as with I mean, just one live I can do 3 hours. If it's gonna fill up
right,
really, really super fast. So for me, wise, if and then I use StreamYard to make my videos, I don't have to do a lot of editing.
okay,
So with that said, if I were to use Ecamm, I would prefer it. I like Ecamm. It's
okay.
once you figure it out, like I used it for a week for the trial that they had before. I
Right,
would
yeah, that's
totally
like
use
14 days. I was checking that out at 3 o'clock this morning because I woke up to take a
At
piss, and
three
all of a
o'clock.
sudden I saw that. Yeah, 3 o'clock this morning, Doc, and it was 17 degrees out here, man. Oh, I'm sorry, 17 below zero out here. No shit,
Oh,
17 below, and I just couldn't get back to sleep. I was freezing my ass off out here, so I just jacked up my heater and all that. And I saw that video that you had done. You was testing it out with Robert and whoever else was out there. So I checked it out, and they had that free version of 14 days. Then they had the monthly and the yearly. I was like, well, I ain't paying for this shit.
yeah. I mean, it is super powerful, just like StreamYard.
Right,
Mike makes his videos on StreamYard
right, right, right,
because of the overlays you can just toss in. You make them once, you toss them in, everything else. All right. Ecamm's the same way, and
right.
you can make them all whatever. Um, and it has all kinds of different things you can interface, like widgets and things like that now.
Exactly. And I was
But
reading up on that there too.
but it's got a learning curve.
Right.
I
Mhm.
mean,
It
I'm
does.
still, I've been using Ecamm for over a year, and
Okay.
I'm still learning crap. I mean, and I didn't start doing lives until a month ago. And I mean, you can see I still haven't. I didn't realize I would have that problem. I just assumed, like StreamYard, you guys would all see each other, that you would see the entire stream, that you would see the chat without putting on the button. I didn't realize you wouldn't. So I got to
Mhm.
figure that kind of stuff out. But I mean,
Now,
you know,
Andy, are you using it? Are you using it? I'm sorry, my Doc. Andy, are you
no,
using it also?
Which one? Ecam? No. This is actually yesterday was the first time I heard of it. I
Okay,
never heard of
yeah,
it before. I saw Live's
yeah.
Mike last time, and I was like, wow, I didn't know about this app. So I usually use StreamYard.
Mhm.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, early this morning was the
StreamYard's
first time I heard about
fine. It really and truly is. I think just because I had it easy for because of my Mac. That's why I
it. Right.
chose it to begin with. It was a very simple integration, and that's why I did it. Um, and then, in fact, I used Ecamm before StreamYard. And then I
Okay.
downloaded StreamYard to see what it was. It's like, oh, it's really the same thing, except. And Mike is right though. Ecamm stores everything on your computer. I
So
have a
that's
three
where the.
terabyte. Yeah, I have a 3 terabyte hard drive,
Oh wow.
external
Okay.
hard drive, and so I just
And that's
shuttle
what.
it all there.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was alluding to right there. You got to have an external hard drive if it's going to
Yeah,
store it into your hard drive there because right now I still have this 2020 version of the M1 Air and and it's still works like a charm, but it's only 256 and I don't want that filled up by any
yeah.
stretch of the
See,
imagination there. So
look
that's
at you
why I
guys
have the
using using Mac products. You guys are a bunch of entitled Americans
Oh
using
my God!
Mac products.
Don't be talking. Look, you know what? I worked hard all my life
Entitled.
so I could buy that expensive shit.
You guys were
And you
able
know
to
what?
buy it
goddamn
because
right,
of your
man.
pension.
Goddamn right.
And I'm going to
Goddamn right,
pay
man.
extra because I'm going to go to SM Mall and buy it there, where it costs 20% more.
They say buying electronics in the Philippines is a hell of a lot more expensive here in the United States, then, man, right?
It is.
Very,
Listen, let me
very.
let me share with you guys a side hustle that my cousin does. Okay, like I
Okay.
so this is what he does. He comes to the U.S. and what he does is he just goes ahead and purchases MacBooks, like used MacBooks, and you can get like Mac, Airs for like he'll do it by bulk. You can get it for like 129 for used Airs. He'll get MacBooks for like 200, 249, and he'll bring that to the Philippines and he'll sell it for
All right.
double the price.
Oh,
Okay.
And he brings them by the hundreds.
Are they refurbished though?
Of course, they're refurbished.
Okay, that's what I want to say. Okay, they're refurbished.
Yeah, but he sells it in the Philippines, and that's how he funds his life in the Philippines.
All right.
He'll,
Okay. So he's
he'll sell like about 300 of them every time he goes back to the U.S., and that's pretty much he goes every like 3-4 months back to the U.S., and that's how he funds his life, and he's able to live in the Philippines pretty good.
the one
Chippy,
that I got right here. I bought it on the refurbished Apple site there, man. It ran me about 800, 799, 800.
Yeah, he
So
doesn't buy it. He doesn't buy it from the Mac store.
right,
He buys
right,
it
okay,
from
gotcha.
the dealers.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's just a side
Oh man,
hustle.
so he's making money over hand over fist there, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what you can do in one side. Like you can sell the computers in one side, and also like gaming accessories and shit like that. Like they would
Gaming
sell
systems.
like hotcakes, like
Right.
Yeah.
controllers like that. They would sell for double the price in the Philippines as well.
Mhm.
And they're pretty small, pretty small accessories. They're more compact
Right.
as well.
I heard about camera lenses and all that good stuff there too, man. So,
Oh yeah.
all right.
yeah, I haven't compared camera lens prices here to what you can get in the U.S. So I don't know because I already have all my lenses.
Yeah, anything
I think
electronics
it's
in the Philippines is going to be 20-25% markup to the standard MSRP in the US. You know,
exactly.
not
You're
unless you're
right.
dealing not unless you're dealing with the China, Hong Kong
I'll
fake
be right
stuff, you
back.
know.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
spot on there, Mike. You're spot on there because when I went back last year, well, actually in 2022, I was going to buy the 13 Pro Max, and I almost pulled the trigger on it, but the 14 had dropped, and
Mm.
but that 13 Pro Max was going to be, outrageously, overpriced and whatnot. So
So
I was
hold on
just
a
like,
second here.
yeah.
Somebody wrote here, how does he get them past customs? Great question. So,
Oh, okay, yeah, great question. Yeah.
well, Mike's gone. Let's make sure that we answer these questions for these people. So, sense of lifestyle of style says, how does he get them past customs? So, what he does is he'll send himself balikbayan boxes,
There you
right?
go. There you go. Right.
So, if you think about it, one balikbayan box to Metro Manila is $55. Okay,
Mhm.
so can't believe I'm allegedly this is what he's doing. Okay,
Allegedly, allegedly,
we'll have to use
supposedly,
that word right now. So
supposedly.
what he allegedly does, if you think about it, it's only $50 for one box. So in that one box, he'll put 3 of those of laptops, just 3
Oh,
max. Because then if you start putting more than that, they open
yeah,
up.
yeah.
They're going to say, "Are you trying to sell it?" Because if he puts 100 in there, then all of a sudden, hey, we got to tax you. Something's wrong here. Okay, so he'll put 3 for every box, right? And what he does is, if he knows Filipinos that are going to be sending boxes, he'll be like, "Hey, I want to put this here. I'll pay for your, for this, but somebody's going to collect it." So that's what he allegedly does. Okay?
Right.
That's all I can say.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I guess he
Gotcha.
would send multiple boxes or something. Yeah, there has to be some sort of thing with the customs as well.
Yeah. So so if he's sending, because technically as a Filipino citizen, you're only allowed to send a certain amount of boxes every year, but they don't really
Yeah.
ding you too much. The customs is not as big in that. So, but you just never know what's going to happen. So that's what he kind of works on. He'll tell people, "Hey, do you want to send something into the Philippines?" They'll be like, "Yeah, here, give me your balikbayan box, and I'll have somebody deliver it. I'll take care of it." So he'll do that. So everyone gets their stuff, then he makes sure he gets his computers. At least it's not drugs, but I mean, I used to know a guy that used to ship in motorcycle engines through balikbayan boxes before, and he was making lots of money. He sent Harley engines to the Philippines, and he made a lot of money that way. One engine per box.
Jeez.
You get your money
Yeah.
back pretty
And
fast.
obviously, there's a certain limit up to how much you can insure. I guess. Yeah.
You take a risk for that, because you take
Yeah.
a risk
Oh,
that you might lose that. So,
Yeah.
man, Filipinos are good at side hustles, man. That's all I can say. I
Yeah.
mean,
Send me. Michael says send him beer money. It's his birthday. Michael, happy birthday. Alex Bam
maligayang
Bam.
bati.
Oh, Alex Bam Bam just joined in. You guys watch his channel?
Yeah, you know what? He does a lot of the Thai stuff, but he also goes to the Philippines. I like his
Yeah.
channel.
I
And,
like
and,
his
and that
channel.
does like some of the MMA stuff. So that's some pretty cool stuff right there.
I just
So
don't
yeah, I
know.
like Alex.
I don't know how his girlfriend tolerates him. I mean, she seems so nice. She
I,
seems so normal.
I don't know how women tolerates me or any one of us. I mean, God God forbid.
I'm kidding, Alex. I'm kidding. Balikbayan, they want to know what's in the box. There's a limit to the value, unless, yeah. You know what? I'll tell you, since the style, we shipped 14 of the giant Balikbayan boxes in
Oof.
2 shipments from the U.S. to Angeles. All right, 2 separate shipments. I mean, we wrapped them with that saran wrap type wrapping and
Yeah.
everything. We listed like bullshit.
Uh-huh.
All
Yeah.
right. And not a one of those boxes was open. Not a one of those 14 boxes did they ever open. In fact, inside one of those boxes was this is, how long ago, but the big KitchenAid mixer?
Yep.
All right. The big expense.
Hmm.
I'm talking about with all the
Yeah.
attachments.
All the
That's
attachments. Yes.
like a $700, $800 thing by the time it's
Yeah.
done. Weighs
Yeah. It
fucking
comes in different colors, red, all that stuff.
Yeah, ours is red. All right. It must, it weighs like 50 pounds. You would have thought if they're scanning these things, they're going to see that son of nothing, nothing. Um, so, my daughter sends a Valak buy and box every year.
Yeah, I kind of was worried about buying products in the US and stuff like that because of the power conversion thing. So
Mm.
I've seen that some products were more expensive, like certain they were 110 only, and I was afraid if I bought it, then I just had to give up the money and said, F it,
You
I'll
know
just buy
what?
a European version instead for like 1.5 times the amount just to be safe on the voltage wise.
Okay, Andy, you're
Mm-hmm.
100% right. My fucking blender is
Yeah.
110 step
Mm.
up power converter. My blender now has one speed, fast.
Oh.
That's it. That damn blender, which is expensive as crap,
Mm-hmm.
only works on one speed now. That's it.
I got it
It
messed up.
fried like low, medium,
Just max.
slow. It's just like, I mean, you got to pre-beat, I can't tell you the last time we used the stupid thing.
Well, see, like, when I was like, I almost burned down our house back in the days in Cavite when I was young. Because like, if a lot of people don't understand, in the older houses in the Philippines, we don't have breakers, we have fuse boxes. So every now and then, those fuses would explode, and they look like shotgun cartridges.
Yeah.
And like you would, so it'll explode. You put there, man. I plugged the microwave. I forgot because they call it inverters now, right? But back in the days, they still call in the Philippines they call it transformers,
Yeah.
not inverters. So and then you used to buy these big black blocks of transformers that you can't even carry. It's so heavy, right? And I wasn't thinking. I plugged the microwave in because it was it was the first time I've ever seen a microwave, and we were it was the first month I didn't pay attention. Plugged it in, man. Number one, the microwave exploded. Okay.
God.
This is the worst. This is the worst part about it. It was a double explosion. I put my dumb self put a whole egg in there thinking that I don't have to boil it. This is when I was like in third
Oh.
grade. I put a whole egg. That thing explodes. After that explodes, you hear the fuse pop. The freaking microwave just starts. Fire went up right away. Like good thing the maid around that time knew what to do. Just like poured powder. She poured like I don't know. I think flour or something like that to like get rid of the fire. And just like it was just crazy. Like just don't even bring the 110 to the fills like electric stuff. Like to be honest, for me.
I wish we had not brought 50% of what we brought. I really
Yeah.
do.
That's why I was worried. Like the prices are cheap, like half the price, but yeah, there's
Mhm.
some caveats.
And not only that, but it's like Andy, like I'm super freaking jealous of his Sous Vita or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, the
What?
sous vide.
Yeah, I want one of those, but I got no place for it. I mean, I'm out of storage for appliances. I need to chunk that blender just so I can get this thing to take care of bowel meat and turn it into something edible.
Oh, definitely. Like I would turn like this like I tried it with like 300 peso steaks, like 250 peso steaks, and they come out so freaking edible like when you cook it for like 8 hours on the sous vide machine. Oh my God, it's great. It's
Interesting.
so seasoned up and
Yeah.
perfect.
Have you
There's
ever
still
seen
some fat
those?
around, but that's
A
doable. You
sous
can
vide. And I never heard of a sous vide. I'm actually literally look at that. It pops up.
It's Sous Vita.
Oh, okay. I've seen this in like TikTok several times.
Google Foods
I've
and all
seen
that
I've
they
seen it.
recommend
I
it.
want one so
Got
bad.
it.
I mean, I'm like, I'm not envious of anybody, but that fucking freaking Andy, man, he's got one of these and he swears it's good.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah,
It's good, especially when you cook it. Yeah, because like I guess in the process, you know the meat and everything, the marination, everything
Yeah.
goes in perfectly, all the seasoning and everything,
I
and the
watched a
steak
couple
itself.
videos on how it works, why
Yeah.
it works, and that's
Hmm.
exactly why, because it's a slow marination into the meat,
Hmm.
and you're not overcooking it because you're only bringing it to a certain level. It's pretty cool stuff.
Oh,
Um,
definitely. And the bags are pretty cheap as well. You could get like in Lazada like 100 little bags for around 200 pesos or something like that. It's pretty
I
cheap.
saw this guy doing it with Ziploc bags,
Oh, that too. Yeah.
but actually, your price in Lazada, that's cheap. Ziploc bags are not cheap here.
no, it's
Yeah,
not.
they're not.
Ziploc bags are not cheap in the
They're
U.S. either. It's just
expensive.
like,
They're like for 50,
oh,
it's like almost 400 pesos, or I don't know. That was back then. I
Yeah,
don't know now.
that's funny.
And those little yeah, the bags, you just buy one of those machines, this Inkbird, what do you call it? The ones are, I have it there. Like you just attach it and it burns and it vacuum
Oh
seals
yeah,
it.
vacuum. Yeah, I've got one of those. We've
Yeah.
got one of those. Um, we don't use it that much, but we've got one. But oh my God, look, you know what, guys? It's been 2 hours, and I really appreciate it. But Arlen's gonna have my ass if I don't get a few other things taken care of this
Oh,
morning.
no,
definitely.
you're the man of the house. No. We're not. You're gonna stay here with us and hang out for
I'm
a
a,
while. Come on,
I
tell
look,
Arlen her place.
Oh
Arlen,
man, this is
let him be.
Mike's last day.
Arlen. They said I get to play. I
Finally
get to
talk to
play,
Arlene.
Arlen. I don't have to leave. I get to go. My friend said I can go outside.
I'm kidding, Mike.
Oh my
No, I
God.
appreciate the fact you had me. Andy, man, it's always
All
great,
right.
man.
Yeah,
Look, and
definitely.
everybody in the chat, thank you so much. We had a great time. This was fun. Andy, thanks for joining. Mike, thanks. Sense of Style, Hillbilly Pyro. You guys all have a great day. Take care.